Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Late Night Football. We're back. Well, I'm back. Anyway, it's been a while. There's been a bit of delay because we moved studios. I say studios, actually, I've just moved apartments, but yes, so that, recording it from a different studio, a different location. But it's great to be back. It's great to be back. Had to take a bit of a break because of all of that. And, it's great to be back. And also great to welcome back Gaurav on the show. Gaurav, once again, welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Rohit. It's always good to be back.
Yeah, you're the man for the big occasions, right? Always when there's a big game or something, then we have you on the show to give your expert analysis. So it's always great to have you. And of course, you've got KM back on the show as well. Knayha, welcome.
Thank you, Rohit. And the studio looks amazing.
I
guess.
Well, nobody can tell the difference except for the lighting. But yeah, we'll fix that.
So congratulations on the new studio, I would say first.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's good that we're starting off with something big that we're talking today. And yeah, what an occasion.
Yeah, we're restarting stuff, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening this weekend that we'll be talking about. So we're going to do a Premier League preview, but really we're going to focus on one game because I think that's the one that everybody's excited about. It is, is it Gaurav, the biggest game in Europe right now? Probably is, according to me. What do you think? Liverpool, Manchester City, the biggest game in Europe?
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely, it has the potential to be the title decider. Even, we have a lot of games still to go, but Liverpool win this, and scenario will completely change. It's same for City. If City win it, they'll probably go on win the title. Yeah, definitely the biggest game of the season across the Europe right now.
Yeah. I mean, Gaurav says potential, but I think it probably is the title decider at this point because I don't see where these two teams are going to drop points. Because I think they both play Chelsea now, so there's no potential to drop points there. So, and I think Liverpool, the only other, are they playing? They play Arsenal as well? Maybe Spurs.
Spurs and United.
Spurs.
Yeah, with Spurs. I mean, they're still playing Newcastle. I don't think that would be a problem.
They have Wolves as well. I think it's a tricky game.
You said United.
So Liverpool playing Everton, Newcastle, Spurs, Aston Villa, Southampton, and Wolves.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think they will. Yeah, they won't drop points.
Nothing that drops points there. Yeah,
so Spurs might be the only one because they didn't draw with them in the last one. And Spurs do have a knack of somehow beating these teams that are playing well against these teams that they shouldn't be. But I think it'll be fine. Unless Gaurav was referring to Manchester United, then I can tell you right now they're not winning that one. United not winning that one. That's a written rule. They're not going to do anymore. But anyway, let's focus on the game. Yeah, and I know. I have 3 weeks of mental anguish, right? I had a break of 3 weeks, and then you get back right into it. But let's talk about this game itself. Let's focus on this game, Knayha. City have had a bit of a wobble, I think. I mean, by their standards, a wobble. It's not really a wobble. They looked a little bit unconvincing against Atletico, and maybe that's how Atletico play. They had a draw a couple of weeks back as well. I believe against Palace it was that they drew.
Yeah.
So there's been a little bit of a wobble. Do you think that's just mid-season blues, or do you think that's it's just something that teams are catching on?
I think it's just the nature of the season, like how involved City are in other competitions as well. Like they're playing for a lot. They are still in the FA Cup. They're still in the Champions League and the Premier League to play for. And I think Pep saw this coming. He knew that there will be. They will draw one game, which will kind of make everyone feel that okay, what's happening, or they will, they will drop points. Like he knew they will drop points at one point, but I think that's the past now. So they've whatever they could drop, I think they've done. Liverpool, I think, could catch up to as much as they could. So I don't think that's a wobble. I think it's just the nature of the whole season. You could say in that perspective that Liverpool has always been catching up. Like City, it was City's title to lose, and that's how we saw in December as well. Mm-hmm. They never kind of gave up their dominance or the way they were playing. Like Pep didn't go crazy, or like he's sarcastically now saying that I am the overthinker. I will play with 12 players or something. So he has realized, he has learned, and the team is solid. We have to understand that they're playing without a proper striker. So the goals that would come are still coming from the midfield. And I think that's the wobble. These players are kind of working their like socks off to get goals, and there will be teams who realize how to play against them. Like Crystal Palace was one of those games. They knew how to tackle or kind of ensure that City doesn't get the space that they play, and also exploit the spaces that are created because a lot of their midfield moves forward and there are gaps behind, and Cancelo is very up top. He's almost central, like in the central midfield and going out. I don't think he's. I don't think it was a wobble. I think it's just the dip that we expected. It's good, but it's very interesting to see that even City, at the standards that they have and the players that they have, that can still happen to them. And now it's all like this game, as we're talking about the City Liverpool. I think this is the title decider. Nobody drops the points after this in my mind, and so I have a favorite already, which I feel, but then I guess we will get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about score predictions a bit later on. I have a feeling your score predictions will be different, but we'll come to that in a little bit. Gaurav, talking about Liverpool, and I know you've been watching them. We said at the start of the season, squad depth. That's a problem for Liverpool. It isn't anymore. Even if whatever happens this season, they seem to be in good stead now. They've already started rebuilding for next season. But just talking about the season, even if their front three don't fire, they've still got Firmino, they've still got Luis Diaz. Obviously, the midfield is strong enough as well. They've got lots of options there. So quietly, Liverpool, they've built a squad now beyond just the team. They've actually built a squad over the course of the season.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Klopp has done a great job, with it. The main problem was that when Salah and Mane were firing, you don't expect Firmino to score a lot of goals. So how he plays, definitely, but the addition of Jota and then Diaz has definitely helped in, and also I think the Thiago has kind of found his form a little. He's finally playing, not I would say 100% to his standards, but he's coming to that place right now. So yeah, the squad depth isn't an issue right now. But I would like to say that I watched their last few games, and there's something called luck. It is also favoring them. I mean. Like Knayha said, City just I think 2 clear-cut chances against Crystal Palace, and something that is not happening with Liverpool. So probably they're riding the luck as well. And results are definitely showing that.
Yeah, it will be. It's I don't know even how to put it because I have my analyses about City and Liverpool, but I don't think they apply in this game. But Gaurav, if you have to pick your front five, so let's just assume Rodri is going to play as the CDM. Probably we all assume Rodri is going to play as the CDM. Then in that case, what's your front five? Your 2 midfielders and your 3 front players. Who would you want that to be?
Personally, I would pick De Bruyne and Bernardo from the midfield ahead of Rodri, and Mahrez, Foden, and Sterling up front. But I think Pep might place Gundogan instead of Bernardo and play Bernardo as a false nine. You never know with.
Yeah, well, you don't know that. And then that means that you leave out Jack Grealish, right? From your 11. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Everybody talks about Foden being Sancho being a flop, and yet here we are talking about Jack Grealish not being good enough to start and possibly the biggest game of the season. So,
well, he's fighting for the Premier League title, and Sancho's fighting for 6th spot. So there's so it's kind of, I think so. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but then I feel that they're both playing at different clubs with different positions, with different mentality right now, and Grealish has something to fight for.
It's who wins.
I think the thing is that Grealish started off really well. In the first few games when he signed him, he started off really well and kind of faded away, and then he was dropped from the starting 11. And case of Sancho, it was completely opposite. He struggled at the start very badly, and kind of right now I think it's kind of find his form a little and finally showing. But
I will not be surprised. But I will not be surprised that if Grealish starts. I will not be surprised even. I have a feeling that Pep will start Grealish because he's not played him like in for 4 games. I guess he's not started. I think he played. Yeah, he's not there in Champions League. He didn't start. He didn't come off the bench as well. He was not there at the game on the weekend as well. I
guess the question with Jack Grealish though is if you start him, because you probably start him on the left or either on the left midfield or on the left wing. And he
Yeah.
might not want to do that because of Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Is Trent fit? I think he is right now.
Yeah,
Trent is
he
fit.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
was,
started.
as I said it. Yeah, that's called, he had what we call the international break injury, where you get injured before the international break, so you don't have to go, play for England, and then you're miraculously recovered. So that that's what it is. But yeah, so I that's my thing, is that he probably might not want to start him on the left because of the fact that you've got Trent on that side. You probably might want someone who can track back and who can, who Trent might be sort of worried about of leaving behind. So that might be a factor. So I don't think Grealish should start. Probably shouldn't start. So, and that might be a consideration as well for Pep, because I don't see where his place fits in, because Foden's got to start this game.
Yeah, and I think he's a very useful coming off the bench as well. If you City have a one goal advantage or something, is really good in holding up the ball and getting those fouls and going down the tempo. He's very good at it.
Yeah, I think FIFA should create a new attribute on their video games now. They're not getting fouls, fouling up, ability to get fouls. I think that should be something.
Fouling percentage, like
foul rating, foul rating.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. Let's talk about the matchups though. Knayha, what matchups are you excited to see? Individual matchups. What are you excited to see in this game?
I think the biggest one is again kind of how Klopp and Pep kind of go against each other. Like, what's the mindset like? Because Liverpool is hunting down City here. City can easily sit back and be like, try. Let's see. And because City can easily counter as well. They can just switch it up any which way. Like they can control the game because they can just keep the ball for 80 minutes, and they know Liverpool will try to hit them on counter. That's the only way that they can be broken, or unless they have something crazy happening there, because they have Luis Diaz. I really love Luis Diaz, how he plays and the dynamics that he's gotten, and the way he kind of goes in the center and stuff. But yeah, and we have
an intruder. No, we have an intruder. No, we don't have an intruder. We have our third guest who's finally able to join us. We'll give Ratnesh a second before he set everything up. Hey Ratnesh, hi, how are you doing? Can you hear us? Ratnesh, are you? I think he's still getting set up. Oh, I think he's
connecting to the audio or something.
Yeah. No, I think it's okay. It's reconnecting. Wait, we'll just give him a minute. Yeah, you can finish your thought, Knayha, in the meantime.
Yeah, I feel that it's City kind of. City could just sit back and basically be like, okay, I can win. I can play for a draw. I can play for a win as well. But then Liverpool has to play for a win.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the difference. Like that's the straight matchup difference. Like in both the camps, so Liverpool can't go into this game thinking, yeah, we can sit back and hope City drops it. This is their best chance to go in and actually try to win this game in all accounts. So I think that's the biggest that in my mind. But of course, there's so many interesting matchups here, like how Fabinho deals with Kevin De Bruyne. I'm more interested to see how that happens. Thiago with Rodri, how is Thiago like sly enough to kind of get some balls moving around with Rodri and of course the both right and left backs, the competition there. Trent with, and how Cancelo does, and Robertson, and who I don't know who plays on the left. So that's going to be very interesting and how they deal with it in a way. So yeah. This game is full of kind of. So I'm guessing this is full of kind of 1-to-1s. You can just you can have both the teams and then actually just kind of do a 1-on-1. That's exactly what they're going to play. So this whole game has like even Ederson and how Alisson play. That's going to be very interesting as well. That's a matchup on its own.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe they can play between each other, like who can score, who can make the best pass or whatever. Okay, Ratnesh is just having some audio issues. Apparently, he can't hear us. Ratnesh, can you hear us now? Or can you hear me now, rather? Okay. All right, we'll give him a few minutes more. But that's a good point, Gaurav, that Knayha brought up actually, because I was thinking about that. If it is 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, whatever, it's just 0-0 at about 70, 75 minutes, do you think City will go, let's hold back and let's try and get a draw? Because City could be okay with a draw. They don't really need to win this game, as Knayha pointed out. Liverpool need to win this game. Do you think the City will go, yeah, maybe we can kind of see this out, let's try and see this out? Or do you think they'll be going, now we've got to try and get the win and try and push Liverpool completely out of this?
I think that with Pep, he never really settles for the draw, even if it's that important in a match. So that's definitely not going to happen. You might see us, dropping a little deeper, not closing down as much as we normally do and trying to hit on counter. But the dynamics has changed, since Sane left us. When we had, Sane, Jesus, and Sterling playing up front, it was completely different scenario. We had runners who used to run, behind the defense, but it has changed now. So I think our build-up has become slower, and also that counter-attacking thing doesn't really work as better as it used to do a couple of seasons back. So I don't think Pep will ask the players, to sit back or hold on the pressure, because you are not going to contain Liverpool 90 minutes. That's extremely difficult. So I don't think that's going to really happen.
Okay, so
maybe if we have a 2-1 lead, you will see something like that, but not with a.
So let me rephrase the question. As a fan, if it is 0-0, 75 minutes, what would you want Pep to do? Would you want him to go for the win, or would you be like, let's try and get a draw out of this?
I honestly think, personally, I would like to see the team going for a win. We need that kind of momentum going towards the end of the season. Because as you guys said that you don't see both of the teams dropping points, but I think that could happen, especially with the FA Cup game and the Champions League game. You never know when you will drop points, and both the teams have some tricky fixtures. City have to play Wolves as well. That's a tricky game, and same with Liverpool. And Liverpool, Spurs, and Aston Villa. That's kind of game you expect Liverpool to win, but you don't really know what will happen, especially with Champions League and FA Cup games happening mid-weeks. So I honestly don't want Pep to hold back. I think we should go for a win, even if it's 1-1 at 75 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Pep will. I think Pep, but then that's his nature. He doesn't like kind of holding back in a way. Like, even if he is one of those, like, if you've scored 3, he will want 5 and stuff. So it's very difficult for him to kind of hold back in that sense. But he knows what Liverpool, how, like, the damage it could do as well. Like, I think he is realistic on those terms. Like, he knows that Liverpool is the only team who can trouble them, and I think that's even, and he knows this could mentally even affect them if they don't win or kind of not secure points here in the Champions League final, which I feel could be these two again, where they meet up. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, Ratnesh, can you hear us now? Can you? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you quite loud and clear. Well, I can at least. I need to hear you, right? That's the most important thing. No, I'm kidding. No, but yes, of course. Now we can hear you. Welcome to the show. It's your first time. Sorry that you had so much technical challenges, but it's great to have you. We're just kind of doing the discussion for the City Liverpool game. Kind of got a little bit further along. So I think I'll throw one final question to you, and then we'll come to the score predictions, I guess, because this is, of course, talking from the Liverpool perspective. What is the ideal midfield combination that you would want to see Liverpool play with? Because they've got, that's one thing, they've got a lot of midfield options now. So what do you think is the ideal midfield combination that you want to see Liverpool playing with in this game?
For this game particularly, I would go with the best 3 that we have at the moment. That is Fab, Thiago, Henderson. These 3 are very crucial for the game, and I don't see it any other way happening. I can't see Jones or Keita coming in for Thiago. And Fab and Hendo are a given. They would definitely start. The third one is Thiago. If he's fit, he starts. Definitely, he starts before Keita.
What's Harvey Elliott's status? Is he injured again? Oh.
No. It's this is the business end of the season now. So the big boys are being chosen above him right now at this stage. Because when he started playing, he was still in November, October time. And at the time, I think Klopp could go with few experiments here and there. And he was up to the mark at the time. And the injury happened. And then he played the Inter Milan game, the return leg at home.
Okay.
That probably didn't work out as, it wasn't up to his mark. So, there were other better options at the time.
We're talking about that. Liverpool have kind of now got so many options, right? Talking about Keita, talking about Jones, talking about Elliott in midfield. Then you've got Diaz and Firmino, because I think Jota is a starter now. I think Firmino is now the backup for me.
I have a strong feeling for this particular game. We'll go with the OG front 3, Salah, Mane, Firmino, because of the
But would you want? I mean, that's a
Discipline.
good question, though. I mean, Knayha, I mean, if and Gaurav as well. I think we'll come to both of you though, because Ratnesh's point is that you go with the OG front three. Would you rather see the OG front three I'll start with you, Gaurav. If you see the OG front three, are you more comfortable seeing those three as a City fan, or would you rather see, or would you be more uncomfortable if you saw Jota on the side?
I think Jota is more of a natural, goal scorer, and Firmino provides you that extra hard work and that work rate, kind of like Jesus. So I would definitely be happy to see Firmino static. I think both for me, both Diaz and Jota are more dangerous in that Liverpool side, because I think they're kind of quicker as well when you compare them to Firmino, and when you add to that the Salah and Mane's pace, that's more troubling for me.
Yeah. Knayha, would you? I mean,
I think it's again like who has been scoring for you lately?
Yeah.
Like does Klopp say who's been scoring for me lately, and I go with that. Salah has not been scoring for him lately, of course, but Salah will start. That's a given. There is no way Klopp drops Salah in this game.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good point, though. I mean, Ratnesh, because if you have Salah who's not scoring and you have Firmino who doesn't usually score, would you not want? I mean, as a fan, I know what Klopp might do, but as a fan, wouldn't you want to see Jota in there? To at least give them that second option of a goal scorer.
Yeah, I mean, who's denying as to, if Jota is not going to feature at all? Like Diaz and Jota could come in at 60th or the 70th minute mark. All these 5 players are going to be at the pitch at some point of the time in the game. So, but for me, because of the discipline that we want against this team, I would go with the front three, and I think Klopp would do the same. What Firmino offers is much more different than what Jota offers.
Mm-hmm.
He would drop down, or maybe not drop down
goals
as often as he used to.
Goals. That's what Jota offers that Firmino doesn't. He offers goals.
Headers. I'm taking it.
Yeah, he's a header masterclass and everything. But again, Firmino is a different beast now since his injury return. He's looking different. He looks sharp. So yeah, I think he'll get 60 minutes in the bag for himself.
It'll be the combination of scores will decide that. I just find Jota is the most annoying player that I've ever seen, because every time I watch him, he scores a goal, and it's like, God, for once, can you not score a goal? This one game, not score a goal or like an assist, but he always seems to get something. It's like the worst feeling in the world when you see him come out the bench and you're like, God, he's gonna score a goal now, isn't he? But anyway, that's Jota. But so it's a feeling of annoying, but I'm sure it's the kind of annoyance that every Liverpool fan would probably enjoy, that kind of frustration. But anyway, let's go to score predictions. Gaurav, let's start with you. What do you think is going to be the scoreline?
I think it will be a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Okay. Knayha?
I think it's 3-1 City.
3-1. There you go. That's what he's saying. Clear favorite. That's what he said, right? Clear favorite. City.
That's not happening.
Right, okay.
Just jinxing it.
3-1 City. Okay. Ratnesh, would you like to complete the trifecta? Because you've got a draw, you've got a City win. You can complete the trifecta with your prediction.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. There you go. So then we got 3 different two goal wins either side, and then we got a two all draws. So we got like the multiples of 2 there. I think it'll be a bonkers game. I think it's going to be one of those bonkers games that there's going to be a lot of goals in it. It's just the way that these two teams play. And now that I said that, might just be a 1-0 win either side or 0-0 draw. But I think it's going to be a bonkers game. I just think it's going to be 3-2 to City. I just have a feeling. I just feel like City are more prepared for this occasion. I just have a feeling for that. So I think it's going to be 3-2 to City. You know what? And this is just the first of 3 potential, matches, because we have a semi-final coming up, and the Champions League final as well, where these two teams could will meet. You know what? I have a comment about the Champions League that I'm saving for next week. If results go the way that they go, I've got a really good comment that I've got for next week. I'm going to save it. That's a spoiler. I'm not going to give you a spoiler for that. So it's a wonderful comment that I've got, but I'll wait till until the game is over. Till the games are over before I make that one. But yeah, there could be a potential Champions League final in the offing. Another one.
And I feel it's I think that's why I said like Pep knows how important this game is in that perspective, because he knows if he loses here, there is no way he wins any of the others, because that's how Pep is. He does not want to go into he doesn't like kind of that feeling like, okay, I've lost, and it takes a toll on him. like
Will-
previously
will-
we've seen this.
Will Liverpool be City's Chelsea this season? Will Liverpool be the Chelsea? He's lost 1-3 to Chelsea. I think Liverpool might do same 1-3 to City.
be.
Oh God, it's actually
could do
working
it.
out that way, isn't it? Because there's a league game and then you have an FA Cup semi-final and then a Champions League final. Man, that'd be
This
history
is-
repeating itself. I know. Gaurav is
Yeah,
like
this-
looking predaciously at me, like, what is he talking about? But anyway, it'll be an interesting game. We'll of course have match reactions for that one once that is done. But on that note, we'll kind of talk a little bit about. I don't want to spend too much time on the other teams, but quick note: Arsenal Gaurav lost to Crystal Palace, but still in control of their destiny. They're playing Brighton. Again, another team that likes to play ball, maybe might work better for Arsenal. Do you think if Arsenal draw or lose this game, do you think that opens the door for Spurs to kind of then take over in that top four race? Because Arsenal and Spurs still have to play each other. But do you think they think that might open the door a little bit for Spurs if they draw or they lose?
It definitely does. I think Arsenal also have a kind of young squad and not that experienced manager. Then Spurs are completely opposite. They have Conte and then the experience of Kane and all. So if they lose this, or even if it's a draw, I think that will definitely open the door for Spurs, and we might see Arsenal struggling in the next few games as well. But as far as that loss is concerned, I think Crystal Palace are turning out to be a really good team, and whereas has been doing a really good. So they troubled us as well, and even it did miss a couple of easy chances that we should have scored. But yeah, their Crystal Palace are a really good team, right? Kind of like what last season.
Yeah, and they're playing Leicester City. Crystal Palace playing Leicester City, which will be should be a win actually for Palace, because Leicester are going to be occupied with the Conference League, but they've got one to kind of look forward to against Lyon next week. So they might want to rest players for that one because they're not going to qualify for the Europa League next season or the Conference League, so they might want to focus on that. Ratnesh, Aston Villa take you on Spurs, another big game. Everybody talks about Spurs. I just want to get your thoughts on Steven Gerrard, the manager. I know there's a lot of feelings when it comes to Steven Gerrard, the player for Liverpool. What are your thoughts on Steven Gerrard, the manager? Because do you think he's done enough sufficiently to kind of think, well, next season might be better for Villa? Or do you
Definitely. This is just based on the points that they have accumulated this season, Aston Villa. I mean, look at the top 8. That the difference between top 8 and the team sitting at 9th, which is probably Aston Villa or Leicester, somewhere at 9, 10, 11. That's put up that way, and he's right up there in that zone of the table. Yeah. Starting from where Aston Villa started and how they've come up here, I think there's improvement, and he definitely improve more next season coming up. He's going to do well, but I don't see him getting a bigger job than Aston Villa and right immediately after, in 1 or 2 years. That's not going to happen. He's going to wait. He'll have to improve a lot in terms of he has to get the consistency right. Right now, Aston Villa are not consistent. They need to get consistent. They need to get big results against the likes of City, maybe in the final day of the game, final day of the match.
Probably. It comes out, doesn't it? The agenda comes out.
That's nice.
Okay. That'll be interesting though. I mean, would Gerrard be like, well, Liverpool need to win the title, or just City was against City, so yeah, they might send out a big team. That would be a game as well to look out for as well.
Or he could defeat Liverpool and say, "Klopp, your time is up," and time I'm the manager.
No, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Gerrard just goes, Villa, the 19-year-olds, Villa, my academy players. Who wants the Premier League debut today? Here you go, Liverpool. Go ahead, go play, enjoy. Let in as many goals.
I don't know, man.
I'm just kidding. I don't think that will happen. Gerrard does have form for doing stuff like that, but no, I'm still bitter about 2010, but that's okay. Let's move on. All right, talking about Knayha, just a quick note as well on what was the email that I want to talk about. I lost my train of thought there actually for a second, but we'll come back to me. We'll move on though. Let's talk about. I don't want to talk about Manchester United. I think I'm kind of bored of them already this season. But it's weird. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? I actually was looking in there at the matches, and then it kind of
Chelsea, Southampton.
Chelsea, that's right. Chelsea. That was what I was talking about. Chelsea. That's right. Chelsea. Does it feel like Chelsea's season is kind of in limbo because they've got 2 cup games obviously to come. The Real Madrid one will be a difficult one, and then of course they've got the FA Cup semi-final, which they should win, you would think.
Yeah.
But do you feel like the league is in limbo because they're not going to fall? They're not going to get out top 4. I mean, I know Chelsea fans are like, well, they might be dead dry in that race. They won't. At best, at worst, they'll finish 4th, but not lower than that. They're not going to finish
Yep.
in the top two. Do you feel like the league is kind of like drifting and and they lost?
I think
it was a shock. But
they're one of those clubs where this period it's like a beach club right now, because they're already thinking about the World Cup. The players know that they have nothing actually to kind of play for in the Premier League, and they know that the Real Madrid defeat was crushing. The way they lost, it was the game. It just looked, the whole team looked kind of all over the place. The way Benzema kind of getting the play, he was brilliant, but then you don't see that from a Chelsea defense. They've conceded 7 goals at home, which has never happened. Like they lost 4-0, 4-1 to Brentford and 3-1 to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So the scope of Brentford losing 4-1 to Brentford and then 3-1 to Real Madrid, that sends shockwaves across Chelsea, I would say. But then I would say they have decided, they know, like Tuchel knows they can't compete in the Premier League. They will finish top 4. They will, I think, in my mind, win the FA Cup, or like they could.
That's a big prediction that they win the FA
But
Cup,
then-
because they've got Liverpool and City. Well, and they've still got
They
Palace,
could.
by the way. Palace are a very good team. So yeah, that's a.
I'm just saying that they could just be focusing on at least one silverware in that sense.
Mhm.
Because I think everyone's right now, all the clubs in Premier League are making those choices. Like Leicester City is making that choice. They see a chance of winning the Conference League or the Conference Cup.
Conference League, yeah.
The Conference League, exactly. So Chelsea is in that state. So hence they don't care about the Premier League anymore. They just need to get consistency so that actually they start winning, which then carries them into the FA Cup. So, and it's one of those things. There's a lot that's happened in Chelsea. There's a lot of talk happened in Chelsea outside of football, and it will affect somewhere. Like the team will get affected. Like however, how much Tuchel has tried to kind of isolate the whole footballing or the club, the players from that, you can't do that for like it will kind of, you will see the slump, and I think that's what's happening. I don't see them losing this game. Southampton has not been great themselves. Bruyne can't play against them. It's a parent club, so he can't start as well. So that's the big miss in my mind. So at least they won't concede. That's a good thing.
Well, I even don't know about that. Chelsea might find a way to concede, but it will be.
But yeah, I think they need to kind of think about. Yeah, so I think
it's a game they need to
for them.
win. Just to get some momentum for Madrid, and then Crystal Palace. That's a game I think they need to win. But we'll see. We shall see what happens. Gaurav, we'll talk about the relegation battle as well a little bit. And again, I don't want to talk about United, but I want to talk about their opponents, Everton. Now, how have Everton got themselves into this mess? I mean, it just seems like they're getting worse and worse and worse as the season is progressing. They just got themselves into the right old mess. They're under threat of relegation, but is it relegation? Is there a really big possibility now that they could get relegated the season? Because I don't see where the points are coming from.
Honestly, if you look at the players that they have, it doesn't look like a relegation team at all. But everything is going wrong for them. They're losing most of the games, and I still think that they're not going to get relegated. I think they have 1 or 2 games in hand when you compare the other teams ahead of them. So, but the issue, as you said, is where the points are going to come. But the thing is, I think Norwich and Watford are definitely going down. And then you have Burnley, they have like played same number of games. They have like 1 or 2 less points, something like that.
Yeah, basically, Everton on 25,
25
and 24.
24, yeah.
Leeds.
And then you have Leeds.
They played 2 games more. So
2 more games, yeah. That's the thing.
Technically, if Everton win their 2 games in hand, then they won't go above them. But would you bet they'd have to win those 2 games in hand? Is a different thing.
Yeah, but that's the issue, as you said. You don't see where the points are going to come. But I think they'll make it.
They don't have easy fixtures, but they don't have easy fixtures as well. Like in my mind, that's kind of the thing. Like Everton does not have easy fixtures. Yeah, they play all the top 4. They play Leicester, and I think they play United. They play Leicester next. They play.
I think they have United, Leicester, Liverpool, and then Chelsea back to back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way, that's kind of the concerning part in my mind. So I think that I don't see them getting the points, to be very frank, but I don't also see the others that are in bottom 3 to actually get more points in that way. So I think they just get saved by that fact, not by them winning, but then the others also not winning.
Yeah, well, I'll just take a quick look at Burnley's fixtures as well, because Everton, of course, they have got they've got the next 4 fixtures are United, Liverpool, I think Chelsea, and then there's Leicester.
Chelsea and
So I think United is probably the easiest of the 4 fixtures. So if they don't win this one, then they're in trouble after that. There it is. I don't laugh and don't think that is a jinx. And this is just the way that they are. United don't even win against Watford. So but
Bruno just signed a new contract. Give him something.
yeah. I'm not. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll leave that aside. But I'm just trying to look at Burnley's fixtures if I can find Burnley's fixtures here because I've.
They have Norwich, West Ham.
Oh yeah. So they play
Southampton, and
Norwich. So
Wolves.
that's a 6-pointer. So if they can beat Norwich, then technically they go above Everton, right? So you would expect them to be Norwich. You would expect them to also maybe beat Watford. So they got Norwich and Watford. So already they've got those 2 games where they can actually get the points, right? So
that's the interesting
play-
thing. That's the last game. They play Watford the last game of the season. So which could
They play
actually
no,
have.
their last game is
Newcastle.
Newcastle. No, their last game is
Yeah.
Newcastle, not
So
Watford.
then that could also hold Everton's fate in a way.
Yeah, I mean that's
What happens there?
It's
I think this,
somebody is looking and thinking, why are we talking about Everton? Because Liverpool fan, it doesn't worry about Everton. But yeah,
I
it's
think this season it has the potential to go till the last game.
the
To
relegation.
see who all will get dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll end this. I think one final question for you, Ratnesh. We'll talk about Newcastle because I mean, slow improvement. The money is starting to roll in now. It's starting to look like starting to make its mark. I mean, they've got a decent fixture, of course, coming up as well. They're playing. They're playing this week. They're playing. Who are they playing this week? God damn it, this thing is a little bit.
Wolves.
They're playing Burnley. They play. No, sorry, not playing Burnley.
Wolves.
They're
I
playing
think
tonight.
they're-
Newcastle is playing tonight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
tonight, they're
Newcastle
tonight.
playing Wolves. Yeah.
They're playing Wolves. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be
Wolves.
honest, by the time this goes up, no, Newcastle would have already played Wolves, so that'll be a bit mood. But
And one as well,
They head
maybe
to
one
Newcastle.
as well after Wolves had 2-0 lead and Newcastle came and scored 4, something like that.
yeah, that was a weird game. But Ratnesh, what are your expectations from Newcastle for this season and then next season? Do you see them? Because I see them challenging for those European spots next season. I know it's a bold prediction, but I do see them not necessarily Champions League, but even Conference League or Europa League. I see them challenging for it. Do you see that for Newcastle next season?
I don't see that because the other teams, the other top 6 or maybe top 8 now are going to be improving next season, and
Are they though? Okay.
I think
I'll take your word
so.
for
I
it.
think so. Yeah,
Talking
so I
about
don't see
United.
Newcastle
Five
closing
of
in
the
More
top
there.
six.
insisted about
The
United.
five of the top 6 will improve next season. I don't know about the 6th one, but yeah.
We'll get Ten Hag. We'll improve.
Oh no, actually, you know what? No, you're right. The top 6 will improve because it's actually West Ham in the top 6. No, that's
Yeah, that's what.
That's probably what. That's what Ratnesh was talking about. Top 6 is West Ham, not United. But no, sorry.
And
sorry.
then you have and then you have Wolves and Aston Villa as well showing up. So Newcastle probably finished 11th or 10th, and then you have Crystal Palace as well. So there's so many teams in the league which seem to improve. That will definitely improve next season,
Yeah.
and Newcastle will have to leapfrog that and get there. But I don't see that happening.
Fair enough.
Europa spots are pretty difficult at this point.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of teams. There's a log jam. Right? And once you get past the top 3, you've got Arsenal, you've got Spurs, you've got West Ham, you've got Wolves, you've got Villa, you've got who's the other
Leicester.
Leicester, yeah. Who's to
Leicester
say
as well.
Leicester don't come back next season?
Yeah, if
Leicester
they don't.
could
But if they,
definitely
you know
improve.
what? Yeah, they might win the Conference League because I mean, there's no reason that they can't win the Conference League. Yeah, especially if Roma lose to Bodo Glimt, which might happen. And then Leicester have pretty much of a free run at the Conference League. So yeah, those will be interesting to see. Anyway, on that note, we'll stop here. I think we've actually, you know what? One final question for all of you. What of player to watch for this weekend? If you had to pick one player.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. All right. Ratnesh.
Thiago.
Thiago. All right. Knayha, what do you think?
Mo Salah.
Salah, awesome. So yeah, I got De Bruyne, Thiago. So should I pick a City player to balance it all out? No, you know what? No. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll pick somebody else. Let's go a little bit outside. I want to see more of Jose Sa, the goalkeeper from Wolves. I want to see more. I think there's a player there. I want to see more. I think he's someone who's underrated. I know goalkeepers are not. You don't really go to watch goalkeepers, but there's a player that I think could do something as well. So yeah, Jose Sa is my pick. But you could also look at other players. You know what? I would have loved to see Donny van de Beek, but he's not going to play because of course Bayern Club he won't be playing sadly. But it would have been nice to see him play against United. But yeah, he'll probably be in a good moods with all the speculation around Erik ten Hag. So he might be in a good mood. So, but anyway, on that note, thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you so much, Ratnesh and Knayha, for joining me on the show today. Always a pleasure to have you guys. Ratnesh, I hope you enjoyed your first time on our show. And
Yeah.
hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't have Ayush anymore for the Liverpool, for our Liverpool quota. So it's nice to have another Liverpool fan here too with your opinions. Yeah, but it's always nice to have you guys. So if you did enjoy the show, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, please follow us on Facebook as well as YouTube. Always appreciate your support. We'll be doing some more videos over the weekend because we will be doing match reaction videos, and there might be a little bit of surprise that might be coming up as well for you over the weekend. So stay tuned for that, because I'm not going to give it away, but keep an eye out on our channel. You might want to be notified because there will be some changes that you will see. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this. And all the best for all your teams, and all the best to you, Gaurav, Ratnesh. Enjoy the game. Hopefully it's it can be positive result for both of you, but let's hope there's let's hope it's for a good game. That's all we can say. And on that note, we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.